So I'm back again, and I can't believe what's going on in this country under our GOP empire that's going on, where they are running everything, from the House to the Senate to the White House. For 8 years, they've been talking about repealing the Affordable Care Act, and they've finally come out with something that I guess is the basic plan or the basic structure of the plan that they want to replace it with. As expected, it contains completely useless elements, or at least one completely useless element, which is the health savings account. Which at best would just save people a few dollars in taxes that they could use to buy health insurance with. And it's predicated on the idea that people who aren't already wealthy or who aren't wealthy are saving money to begin with, or have money to save to begin with. That's completely ridiculous because nobody is saving money anymore. Certainly not in any way that would make this at all viable as a way to help the masses at large be able to afford health insurance. It contains a provision to let insurance companies compete across state lines. Okay, that might be helpful. That might create some competition and drop prices a little bit, but it's nothing close to a solution for the high cost of health insurance. And, they want to get rid of the mandate, which, the whole idea of the mandate was to get more people covered so that they would stop using ERs when they were sick instead of having a primary care physician to go to. Because using the ER when you're sick, if so many people do it, if masses and masses of people do that instead of having health insurance, it makes healthcare more expensive. The other idea of the mandate was to make sure that people got preventative care, which they're not going to do if their health insurance plan is visit the ER when they're sick. But if they have health insurance, then they're going to get preventative care, and not having a society full of sick people is what makes health care plans more affordable. So the idea was to reduce costs by getting most of the public onto health insurance so that they could get preventative care and not get sick to begin with, and to keep people from visiting the ER when they're sick instead of a primary care physician. So to eliminate the mandate is just the complete sort of opposite. It's completely antithetical to the idea of keeping healthcare costs low or getting them low. It's completely the wrong direction. The right direction is everybody has insurance, everybody gets preventative care, everybody goes to their regular doctor when they're sick, and that keeps healthcare costs low. So it's completely wrong-headed and completely the opposite of what they should be doing. So there's that problem. They also want to eliminate the subsidies, and they want to give people tax credits. Now, I don't know the intricacies of that, and I'm going to, have to pay attention as more information about that comes out. But it strikes me as the kind of thing that isn't going to do a damn thing for people who are so, financially behind the eight ball that they don't file taxes, whether they're not working or what have you, that any little credit on their taxes isn't going to be enough to help them afford health insurance or to help them afford health insurance. So I don't see how this plan makes any sense whatsoever. The other thing about it is that if you get rid of the health insurance exchanges, which I guess they haven't come right out and said they're going to do, but if they were to do that, because it doesn't appear to be that they're keeping it based on what's come out so far of their plan, people are going to be left buying insurance on the open market or from their employer. Now, open market is going to cost way more. And, should maybe we wait for all these, tens of thousands of jobs that this president promised us to actually materialize before we take people off the health insurance that they currently have through the ACA so that they can actually get these jobs and then buy health insurance through their job? I mean, I guess it wouldn't take place right away, but, a kick in right away, this new thing. But are they going to make those things coincide, or are they just going to roll this thing out with a bunch of people still unemployed? Period. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. And, now you've got Representative Chaffetz, or whatever his name is, going on TV and saying that people can, find a way to afford health insurance by, not buying iPhones. I mean, thanks, Marie Antoinette, for that insightful advice, but you're wrong, because iPhones only cost $27 a month on a phone company contract. And, unless you meant that people should give up cell phones altogether, because a monthly cell phone bill can be a couple of $100, especially if you have multiple lines in your house, household. That would save people, a significant amount of money that they could use toward health insurance. But how do you get by today without a cell phone when payphones virtually no longer exist? What do you do if you break down? What if there's some other emergency? How do you call 911? Run around knocking on doors. Hi, can I use your phone? Hi, can I use your phone? Excuse me, passerby, can I use your cell phone? Why should people have to rely on that? That's absurd. It was one thing back when we had payphones on every block, because you could say, oh, well, we survived without cell phones in the 70s. Yeah, but that's because there was a payphone on every corner. That's not the case anymore. So this guy's just an asshole who doesn't understand that there are poor people. And by poor people, I mean poor ass people. How are tax credits going to help? Really? Tax credits? It's absurd. So this Chaffetz guy and the GOP need to take their health insurance ideas and stick them where the sun don't shine, because it's just absurd. They're absurd, it's absurd, and, I hope between the Democrat filibuster in the Senate and, the fact that a few Republican senators have already said or lawmakers have already said they don't like this new plan, I hope it gets, roundly defeated before it even gets to President Moron's desk. Anyway, that's Against the Grain for today. Keep plugging, people.